Trump seems to be a bit obsessed with you right now. I don't know if you've noticed that. It's one way of putting it, I guess. I mean, he disinvited you from the White House National Governors Association dinner. He's been on a bit of a rampage, as was his White House press secretary, who I'm sure maybe he directed to do that, about blaming you for the Potomac sewage leak, which is a big issue, but it's not something that is under your jurisdiction. What is this all about, in your view?
I mean, I wish the president wasn't as obsessed with me and he'd be more obsessed with the American people and what they're going through. He seems to be wholly obsessed with me. I just wish he'd be more obsessed with them. You know, if you look at the past few days, that we have introduced legislation and testified on legislation that ends the practice of price manipulation at supermarkets. So bringing the price down for supermarkets so people's data are not being used against them when they go into supermarkets. That in the past days that we have worked with Democratic and Republican governors to get PJM, the regional grid operator, to cap their price increases for not 2, but for the next 4 years. That we have focused on bringing new economic development avenues like the Sphere, which is coming to Maryland, which is going to generate about $1.3 billion annually once completed. During that same period of time, the President of the United States has decided to change the colors on Air Force One, has now installed a new ballroom, and probably has tweeted about me every 30 minutes. Like, this is absurd. And when the president says, that if Governor Moore asks me nicely to help with the sewage issue, which, by the way, is a breakage of a D.C. pipe on federal land. Maryland has nothing to do with this. You know, my answer to the president is this. I'm asking you nicely, Mr. President, please do your job. And please stop looking at all of us to have to cover up for the type of inaction that we are seeing from this White House.
It is. We'd all like him to do his job on many fronts, including that one. There is this traveling cabinet strategy. I started the show talking about this, where they had a strategy meeting where part of their strategy is to send their cabinet members out to campaign in swing districts and competitive districts. You are a political guy. You've done a lot of campaigning. I'm sure you'll do a lot of campaigning, not just for yourself, but for others.
Absolutely.
In the period of time ahead. What do you make of that?
Well, I'm curious which ones they're going to send out. The ones in the Epstein files? Or the ones who have side businesses and side hustles, or the ones who say that if you miss a Social Security check, that it's because you're a grifter. I'm really curious which ones they're going to send out, and I'm looking forward. I'll just be eating my popcorn watching.
I mean, there's always RFK Jr. and Kid Rock in their shirtless video. They could go on the road together. Who knows? There's always so much going on. I don't know if you had a chance to see this, but today Trump attempted to commemorate Black History Month. We all knew this was not going to go well. It's clear it wasn't going to go well. It was quite a doozy, but I just want to play a clip for you of this. I'm not sure if you've seen it, but I want to get your reaction on the other side.
Mike Tyson, boy, I tell you, Mike has been loyal to me. Whenever they come out, they say, Trump's a racist. You know, it's like a statement. Trump's a racist. Mike Tyson goes, he's not a racist. He's my friend. He's been there from the beginning. Herschel Walker, speaking about loyal, how good a football player was Herschel? Herschel Walker, now he's ambassador to the Bahamas. I don't know, Bahamas, Bermuda. Is he Bahamas, whatever.
What do you make of that?
I'm hardly ever speechless, but this is a time where it's difficult to have a response to that when the way you are addressing Black History Month is just talking about the individual Black friends that you have. Black History Month is not about an individual sports hero. Black history is about the foundation of America. It's about the fact that this country's history would be incomplete if we don't fully embrace the contributions that Black Americans have made, oftentimes to a country that never showed them the same respect back, but people who love this country and were willing to fight for the hope of it. Black history is not something about talking about the friendships that you have. It is truly about understanding that this nation is a nation that is unique, diverse, deeply uneven in its history, but actually in the unevenness is actually where the glory lives. And I think about this in context of the president talking about things like banning books and banning our history, where they talk about this idea that we want to ban history or ban books because we don't want people to feel uncomfortable. And that's not it at all. That they're trying to ban history because they don't want people to understand their power. The reason that I walk into every single room and know that I belong in that room is because I know my history. I know how people had to fight in order for me to be here, and I know the shoulders that I stand on. And so I'm not sure what the president was trying to do there, or maybe he thought that was going to ingratiate himself with the black community. What would really help to ingratiate him with the black community is stop the assault that we're seeing on the black community.